There we go. Is that us?
That's us. Looks like we're on. We're live. We had no idea we were on. What's going on? So welcome back to Call It in the Ring. We just did a whole intro.
We did.
For you and I. But tonight we're going to be talking about speculation on what happened to Brock Lesnar. We're also going to be talking about where the Intercontinental title picture is going and where John Cena fits in at WrestleMania. But Kevin, welcome back. I guess welcome back to me too. I haven't really been here for the last month besides.
And we haven't done it together in over a month.
We did see each other though.
Yeah, we were at the Doctor Who convention, Gallifrey 1.
But you weren't on the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, but you said you had some comments about it.
Yeah, I do. We'll get in. Should we start with that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell you what. I started to watch you guys' show. I had problems at home. I couldn't watch the whole darn thing. But you guys, I saw like the first few minutes. You seemed really upset at the beginning of the.
I hated it.
You hated everything in the Elimination Chamber?
I liked all the women's stuff.
Fair enough, yes. I think we all knew Roman was going to win, right?
But see, that's my problem, though, is that WWE, you can't say anything could happen in the WWE. No, not anything can happen in the WWE. I disagree with that.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm with you on that, but we knew he was going to win, and you're upset that he's going to win.
Yeah, I'm upset that the WWE, but that's not what the fans even wanted. And that's their whole gimmick, right? They always say, oh, the fans choose. The fans get to decide who goes. It's all about the fan, but it's not. It's not.
You're right.
What I think, honestly, what Vince McMahon sees in Roman Reigns is a mix of Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock as one guy. I will say this, though. The Brock Lesnar matchup now seems more intriguing. That I almost thought that when Roman Reigns was on Raw that he forgot his promo. Because it looked like he was in deep thought and he forgot his promo. But maybe not.
I think most everybody watched Raw, and they know Brock wasn't there. And there's all this big hubbub. Why wasn't Brock there? Did he surprise? Is he doing hard negotiating tactics for when his deal ends?
Wait, let me hold you there for 1 second.
Sure.
We got the Super Chat feature. You guys know what that is. That helps support the show. We also got that boss thing somewhere. That's going to be for free tickets to Power Morphicon 2018. Also, support us at THS Hashtaggers. What that does is you can buy some cool geek shirts, which neither of us have on right now. But we do have some really good geek shirts in there. And last but not least, if you want to keep the conversation going and meet some of the most active, cool geeks in this community, join THS Hashtaggers. That keeps the conversation going, and that's where you can get your fix for the latest geek news and find out what we're all up to here at that hashtag show. Like Kevin and I doing this show, or like Sam on Twitch, and like the Pachimari Network if you're an Overwatch fan, which will be on later on tonight.
Do you talk about Power Rangers on that on the hashtag on that stuff you're talking about?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I was just making a joke that there's a whole shit ton of Power Rangers material on this, which is fine. If you like it, they'll do it.
So yeah, we actually, unlike Vince McMahon, we actually listen to the fans. Go ahead, continue with what you're going to say.
Now, I think they just changed direction in what they were going to do. I don't think we were having this discussion offline where you were like, Kevin, they're not going to advertise Brock Lesnar and not have him show up. And I think they did that. And you were asking me for examples of times where WWE has advertised somebody that they knew they wasn't going to be there. And I can't think of any now. Craig can help me out. Craig knows. Craig, is there? Hit me with a couple of instances where WWE said this guy is going to be here, and then they didn't happen. And I'm not talking about circumstances beyond their control, where WWE knew they weren't going to be there, but they promoted them anyway. I'm sure it's happened.
I don't think so, because I feel like that's one thing they're pretty strict on. When it was Stone Cold Steve Austin that walked out on Raw, or whether it had been anybody else that just no-showed, I think that that's something they take pretty serious, because I do believe, regardless of what I feel about the direction of the creative of the company, I do believe that if they promote something, they usually try to make that happen for the fans. I do agree with that. I don't agree, though, with this main event at WrestleMania, and I don't even want to call it a main event, and I hope it doesn't go on last.
But I think what we saw on Monday with the whole... God, I love Reddit. I've talked about it all the time. I'm always on the squared circle for Reddit. And yet when I was looking through the comments during Raw, so many people like, Roman's shooting on him.
I don't think that was a shoot. That was a work shoot.
It was a work shoot, absolutely. But there are so many people that, and I think that's one of the reasons they went in that direction. Because we already did a build for Roman and Brock. What was it, 3 years ago?
2 years ago?
3 years ago, something like that. We already did the build, so how do we make it different? And we have to throw something into that works.
I understand where you're coming from, but I don't agree with it. Mainly, I think that this is a new build. Like, you can see, for example, let's just say they did go with John Cena and The Undertaker. Well, they did have that match before, and that was a long time ago. But this is a new circumstance. I definitely think that was for sure a work shoot. That was literally them like, listen, we don't have Brock Lesnar. We need something that's going to get the fans invested into this event without booing the shit out of both competitors. And I think that they probably said, Roman, go out there and say this, this, and this, and maybe you'll get the fans to pop, and maybe they'll get on your side. That's what I think the ploy was. I definitely think, at the very least, whether Brock Lesnar was there or not, I'm surprised Paul Heyman wasn't more so.
Right.
Because I think that even with Paul Heyman's tweet where he was like, I'm going to address the winner of the Elimination Chamber, that didn't happen. So that's interesting to me. Even if let's just say that Brock wasn't planned, or WWE always knew Brock wasn't going. I'm surprised that they didn't have Paul Heyman go. I feel like that's a big missed opportunity, especially if you're building to this match.
No, I think you're right, and I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think when did they say? They said that. In Detroit, when Raw's in Detroit, is the next time that Brock is scheduled to be there. So if he's not, 2 weeks. And if he's not, then it'll be really, really interesting.
So here's one thing, though. This WrestleMania is very interesting to me for a couple of reasons. Number one is that if I can only remember correctly, besides Brock Lesnar, Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka might be the only two WWE competitors to have debuted in the same year that they're going to be main eventing WrestleMania.
Interesting.
Besides like King Kong Bundy, or you know what I mean? But I think that besides Brock Lesnar, I think it's just the two of them. I could be completely wrong, but it's definitely not AJ Styles. It's definitely not CM Punk. But I think that's a thing. What I think is interesting about this WrestleMania, though, is this serves the hardcore pure wrestling fan, the New Japan fans that are getting Shinsuke and AJ, but it also serves the WWE style fans that are going to get Roman and Brock. So it's quite interesting. Like, as much as I want to say that I dislike the direction of the WWE, they are doing things right, because I am extremely excited about AJ and Shinsuke. So, and honestly, I know you want to talk about it. The Intercontinental title match really intrigues me too. I don't think anybody is better on the mic right now this second than The Miz.
Well, back to the main event. I've been trying to tell that exact thing to people.
That's pretty cool, though.
They're trying to please everybody, and in avenues they are. They're not going to market everything to 43-year-old Kevin Kittredge.
But I think that's kind of cool, though. That this is a cool card. Doesn't matter what kind of wrestling fan you are, there's something for you on this card, I feel like. And I do appreciate WWE for doing that. So if they're trying to captivate the audience of like, hey, we got to go with some of the mainstream little kids too that are going to want to, buy Roman Reigns stuff. I get it. And then for you hardcore wrestling fans out there like Kevin and I, AJ and Shinsuke is probably the match we're more interested in. But who knows? Maybe Brock and Roman tear it down, and I hope they do.
I remember when the first match they had.
I thought it was decent.
It was, and I thought it was going to be really boring.
Me too.
But Roman really brought it. He was very, very agile. He got thrown around a lot. He ran around a lot. So maybe, Matt brings up a good point, and I was going to get to that. We were talking about the Intercontinental title match, which right now appears to be a triple threat.
Right now appears to be.
And I would think that they're going to add more people. Maybe not. But Maurice, the Miz's wife, is due to give birth, as it stands, the Friday before WrestleMania.
Wow.
So I think that's one of the reasons they're making the rest of the Intercontinental title match a multi-person match.
Just to pull, if they want to pull the Miz out?
Yeah. Now, do they strip him of the title for that?
I don't think the Miz would pull out of WrestleMania, though.
I think he said he's going to be there for the birth of his
child. Did he?
I think so, yeah.
Interesting.
Which is very noble.
It is very noble. I will say this right now. I don't think there's been a wrestler that's been on fire as of late more than The Miz. That guy is hitting it on every stride.
Did you watch his photo shoot on WWE?
I did. I really enjoyed it
last night. Those photo shoots, what they do is they get a wrestling personality. They sit them down and they show them pictures throughout their career, and they tell stories about it. And they went over, and I have to believe it. I believe Miz when he says when he confronted Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack, they told him, hey, you're not on SmackDown tonight. He's like, what are you talking about? The Intercontinental Champion. They said, yeah, we don't have anything for you. And he was pissed off.
He should have been.
And he should have been, absolutely. And he said, put me on Talking Smack, and I'll make it worth your while. And he said that, and I believe him when he says Daniel Bryan didn't know that he was going to call him out on those things.
And he said that I didn't know if I was going to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
And I do believe him too.
It was really good. I think I've seen all of them now. There's The Miz, there's Cesaro's, there's Eric Bischoff's, and Kurt Angle's. I think those are the only four. Very entertaining.
Yeah, I think Cesaro's was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Bischoff's.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen Bischoff's. But at the very least, I think the one thing I will say is that there's not a set card for WrestleMania, because you're going to have to assume it's going to be Bayley and Asuka. Now, I want to talk about the
Bayley and Asuka.
I'm sorry, Bayley and Sasha Banks is what I meant to say.
Yes, okay.
So let's talk about this real quick. Let's go talk about the highlights of Raw. The women's six-woman tag match I really enjoyed. I really think that it told a great story. Asuka looked dominant. It told the story of Bayley and Sasha, and it showed. It also showed Nia is dominant.
No, I don't think I paid that much attention. I think Monday night I had plumbing issues at the house, so I missed a lot of that. What was the Sasha and Bayley? Because I remember they've done the thing on social media where Bayley would post a picture and Sasha would say, "You haven't been replying to my texts," frowny face. I thought back to Elimination Chamber when that happened. Oh man, I was watching it alone in my room eating ice cream, and when Sasha turned on Bayley in the match, I yelled out, "Whoa!" And what else hit me? There was something else that was really cool in that, but it was a great moment. But yet So what happened on Raw?
So on Raw, they told the story that as many times as close best friends being best friends, every single step of the way, Sasha's always turned on Bayley. Sasha's always stabbed her in the heart. So in this six-woman tag match, the heels were getting better, the faces. Sasha came in to make the hot tag, and Bayley just jumped off the apron.
Nice.
It was a well-told story. And then when Asuka got tagged in, Bayley came back in to help her. They ended up winning the match. But you could tell that they're leading that towards WrestleMania. And that's a great match for WrestleMania. And the reason I like it is because those two ladies don't need a title to have a good match. And I think that that's brilliant that they're going to go that way with those two.
Man, so it's very impressive that they're able to get our interest for that, because it used to be a women's match at WrestleMania had to be like a multi-person match or what have you, but we're going to have both title matches and Asuka and likely Sasha and Bayley.
Yeah. I think this is what needs to happen for Sasha, though, because her character was getting really stale. And I think she's a better heel than she is a face. And that character, being the boss gimmick, is just a better heel character in general. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited to see where they go there. I'm curious, though, to see what happens with Nia Jax at WrestleMania, because it seems like we don't have a story there yet for her. I mean, we've seen her dominate Asuka, but I'm not necessarily sure where she ties into WrestleMania yet.
And there's several women that don't have anything going on for
Mickie
WrestleMania.
James is another one.
So there may be like an 8-person tag or something like that.
I think the storylines are more defined on Raw in the women's division than they are in SmackDown, though. And I think that SmackDown's women's division, I don't know if they're leading towards Ruby Riott and Charlotte. To me, that's a little bit of a letdown if that is the match they end up going with at WrestleMania for Charlotte. I think it's a little bit of a letdown. Let's talk about tag team division real quick.
Sure.
You a fan of the bar? Were you a fan of the Titus Worldwide bar match at the pay-per-view?
No, it wasn't very good.
No, I didn't think so either. The 2 out of 3 match on Raw, how did you feel about it?
The bar shut them down 2-0, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So that feud seems to be done.
Not only does that feud seem to be done, but I mean, what they were hammering on commentary. These guys aren't going to get a shot again. What's next for them? And that's a good question. What is next for them? Are Titus Worldwide going to explode at WrestleMania? We'll see.
I think we're going to see. I'm hoping that it's going to be the Balor Club. Actually, I hope it's the Revival. But I don't see 2 heels going at it at WrestleMania, 2 heel tag teams. I definitely think it could be the Balor Club getting a shot on a pre-show, though. It doesn't seem like they're really building for Cesaro and Sheamus. Funny enough, I actually like those two as a tag team. I think they've been doing some of the best work lately together. But who knows?
I think I'm not into Sheamus.
Neither am I, but I think as a tag team, their work is pretty solid.
They are.
And their matches with the Hardys were really good, and their matches with Reigns Rollins and Dean Ambrose were really good too, and Jason Jordan as well. So they've been a solid, consistent, good tag team. Personally, for me though, I think the best tag team right now in the WWE is the Usos. I think that those guys are working at another level at this point. Though Benjamin and Gable can be there, I just don't feel like they're getting highlighted there. And also the Revival. The Revival is probably They haven't been showing it because they haven't had a lot of time, but they are the best tag team to me in the WWE. I love the Revival, and I wish that they get their WrestleMania moment this year, but I don't think it's going to happen. At least not this year.
Was there something about? Are they going to be? First of all, fast. They're not. They're on Raw, right? Dasher Dawson.
Yep.
I think they're pushing to get into the WrestleMania. I think they're going to get into WrestleMania.
I certainly hope so. So let's talk about some more Raw highlights. We got a contract signing. We got what else we got?
Well, tell you what. Let's. Craig brings up how he's tired of the Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy feud, and that leads me to Matt Hardy earlier. I think it was earlier today, maybe last night. Mentioned something. Yeah, he said something about the ultimate deletion, which only can tell me that they're going to do another match on the compound, as you say.
You know what? I love the Bray Wyatt segment on Raw this week. I thought it was great. He ran through Heath Slater and Rhino. He looked menacing. He did that creepy dance with Heath in the ring. I really, really liked Bray this week. He got me interested in him again. And he cut that creepy promo on Matt. Brilliant. I want to see the match at the compound. And I'm actually a little surprised because last year, a little around this time, we had Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt at the house. What was it called? That house. Whatever dumb house it was. If they do it at the compound, it could be so much better. I think it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I want to see them go one more time, a final match. Let's see what happens. I also thought their interaction in the Royal Rumble was interesting, where they teamed up for a second, too.
Yeah.
So who knows? That can go a lot of different directions. But I love seeing those guys work together. I actually think I did like their match at the pay-per-view also.
The crowd really sucked on that one.
Yeah, they did.
It was really frustrating.
I think Las Vegas was a bad city for this pay-per-view, personally. Like, the crowd was dead, I felt like, for the most part.
There were a few moments where I was like, good job, guys. And then it's like, oh, and then the beach ball shit.
Yeah.
There's beach ball shit, which thankfully the cameras didn't encourage, as they've done in the past.
So, how do you feel? You want to see one final matchup at WrestleMania at the compound? Because this could almost be like the backlot brawl from WrestleMania 12, I feel like.
I didn't care for the backlot.
I didn't either, but it was iconic.
I don't want an off-site moment at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you have to. Well, you got it.
WrestleMania.
It has to fit into their 7 hours for that one day.
I
heard that they're starting WrestleMania at midnight and it's going to end at midnight the next day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point. But I think we're going to get an off-site. I do think we're going to get a pre-taped off-site thing. If this does happen at WrestleMania. It is a decent spot. It's a good filler. The only bad thing is I feel like when you're watching it on a screen, it sucks the audience out of the room. Like, 'cause I was there at WrestleMania 12 for the backlot brawl. And I felt like, all right, I'm just watching this on a screen and the ring's empty. It was just the weirdest thing. I don't know. That's for me, though.
I don't think it's just you.
Yeah, see, it's weird, right? It's just.
I don't think they should do it at WrestleMania.
It should be a Raw thing.
I'd be fine with a Raw thing.
Yeah.
Make it the main event.
Of a Raw, yeah. I mean, I will say this about WWE, too. They have been giving us solid main events, or at least main event segments lately. There's in SmackDown tonight, we had a John Cena and AJ Styles, which I thought was a great match. Then again, SmackDown, I think, in general, has the better main events in terms of in-ring work. Though there has been some, I will say, Raw, like that gauntlet match from last week was really good.
It was off the charts. It was fantastic.
I haven't seen a Raw that compelling in quite a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it was over 2 hours, right?
It was at least over an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah.
Because Seth Rollins alone was in the match for an hour and 5 minutes. So
my joke last week was, God, can you believe it? They only had 3 matches on Raw.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm so funny.
I thought Raw last week was really good. I think right now, leading into WrestleMania, we're in a good spot. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about, we're still on Raw here. Let's talk about the contract signing. The Ronda Rousey contract signing. What'd you feel about that?
From Elimination Chamber.
No. From I'm sorry, not contract signing. The confrontation, we'll say.
Well, what did you think about the actual contract signing?
I liked it.
I liked it too.
No, I have no problems with it. Some of the people that I was on the show with had issues with it. I had no problems with it. I liked it. I thought
they did a great. I think they did exactly what they needed to do.
And it's a match I want to see, and it's a match that already has a backstory, and it's going to hide Ronda Rousey's shortcomings in the ring because it can be covered up with Triple H and Kurt Angle.
Right.
So I'm okay with this.
Yeah, and Steph's shortcomings.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to... And she's going to get a pop when she does get into the ring. And Triple H and Kurt Angle are still good. It's not like these guys are like over the hill, like older, like Terry Funk. These guys are still pretty good. I mean, they're older, obviously, but they're still good in the ring. And I want to see Triple H and Kurt Angle one more time. I think it'd be fun for the nostalgia factor.
Yeah. I want to see Kurt out in the Olympic...
Not his vest that he wore at Survivor Series.
Not the shield.
We're gonna get that thing that he wore at the Survivor Series though. That red, white, and blue like thingy.
Oh, that's right.
Bodysuit.
He did have that, didn't he?
Yeah, we'll probably get that. I'm excited to see this match, though it's not why I'm gonna watch WrestleMania. The highlight for WrestleMania to me is gonna have to be Shinsuke and AJ.
Same here.
Can't wait. Oh, let's talk about the John Cena moment on Raw.
Well, how about the Elimination Chamber talkback? Did you see that?
I didn't. I did. I know what happened, but I didn't see it.
I tell you, I'm one of those guys who often bitches about John Cena. I thought he was amazing in that interview after Elimination Chamber.
I was just saying this on this week's show, on Sunday's show, is that I'm a guy that doesn't hate John Cena. He's earned my respect. He has pretty good matches. If you really think about it, his matches with AJ are off the chart. His matches with his matches with Kevin Owens were off the chart. He can deliver like good matches. He does have this reputation for holding people down. I understand people are tired of seeing John Cena. He has his 16 championship run, and I get it. I completely get it. But he's earned my respect, and he's pretty good on the mic.
So yeah, he's very good at everything. I just don't want him to be the champ again.
I agree. I do not want him to be the champion.
And I think we can agree that he's not going to win at Fastlane. And it's going to lead to his Undertaker match.
You think there's a rumor going around right now? Have you read the latest rumor?
What's that?
They're heavily WWE is heavily negotiating with Rey Mysterio to have Rey Mysterio and John Cena at WrestleMania. Just read it right now. Reportedly, Rey Mysterio in talks WrestleMania 34 match against major rumored name. This is from ProWrestling.com. As we noted earlier today, Rey Mysterio, who made his return to the WWE in a surprise Royal Rumble appearance this year, was in attendance for WWE SmackDown live event in San Diego last night. According to Sports Illustrated, Justin Barrasso, Mysterio was also backstage at SmackDown Live tonight and is also reported negotiating with officials to return to the company for WrestleMania. Furthermore, Sports Illustrated is reporting that Mysterio has been discussing a major match at this year's pay-per-view in New Orleans against none other than John Cena.
Well, you don't have John Cena go out and say he wants a match with The Undertaker, which isn't going to happen, but it gets... And I say that because he said it, but that's not going to happen. You don't do that.
Just like you don't advertise somebody that's not going to be there.
I think there's a difference.
There's not a difference.
But of course there's a difference.
There is not a difference.
I disagree.
I think that this Mysterio match could possibly happen. I don't see it happening though. I would actually love to see Rey Mysterio as a surprise challenger for the Cruiserweight title. Do we even have a Cruiserweight champion yet?
We don't. I think that's going to happen at WrestleMania.
Maybe they make it a triple threat match. Put Rey Mysterio in the finals.
I think that could be a lot of fun. I think that match with Cena and Mysterio, I think that could be a lot of fun. It just reminds me of the last time they wrestled. Do you remember the last time they wrestled?
Cena and Undertaker?
No, Cena and Mysterio.
Yeah, that was when Rey Mysterio was champion for like 30 minutes.
And I don't know how Cena still got to be the good guy after that. Rey Mysterio fights this really hard-fought match for the WWE Championship, and then Cena comes up and is like, hey, I want a shot at that title. Like, all right, I beat him. Yay, I'm the what? Ridiculous.
It was pretty ridiculous. I don't know what John Cena's. I feel like at this point now, I almost felt that yesterday could have been a great heel turn. I know it's never going to happen
because in that interview he did after the Elimination Chamber, he said, "I'm going to have to, in order to get a match at WrestleMania, I'm going to have to take some steps that I normally wouldn't do." And he was saying basically, "I'm going to turn heel." But that's not quite the case as it stands.
I wish. I think, though, that with John Cena, not only did he get a shot at the Royal Rumble, not only did he get a shot at the Elimination Chamber, now he's getting this other 6-man ordeal. This is ridiculous. Come on, man. What the fuck?
As long as he doesn't win, I'm fine for
I don't
him
want him anywhere near any titles for WrestleMania. Yeah, sure. Put him against The Undertaker. If you need to, put him against Rey Mysterio. Fine. Feed him to Braun Strowman. Do whatever you got to do. I just don't understand why we're making John Cena even talking about this type of picture.
Here's the thing. Here's how I see.
I wish he was going against Elias and losing to Elias. I love Elias.
His whole thing is, I need a match at WrestleMania. How do I get to WrestleMania? And we see the desperation of this veteran, this man who's been the face of the company for so many years. And I think he will lose this Fastlane match. And then, I mean, it's got to be like the night after.
See, yeah, that's the thing. This is another thing, too, with WrestleMania, and I've never really understood this, is that back in the past when we got the Mega Powers exploding and the Warrior and Hogan, or hell, even The Rock and Hogan, you get the buildup of WrestleMania. And they always say, this is the culmination of our year. But you're throwing together feuds, I feel like in the last 3 weeks of the year, and be like, this is the WrestleMania match. Like right now, AJ and Shinsuke makes sense, right? You're building that up. He won the Royal Rumble. You got 3 months to build. Great. But I don't, and maybe even Bray and Matt, if that is a WrestleMania match. But I don't necessarily see it with some of these other thrown together things. It's like, okay, let's do this, let's do that. And it's like, what? It doesn't seem, to me, that takes the mystique of WrestleMania away. So I always look at WrestleMania as that you should be booking the dream matches of the year, right? So I know Ronda Rousey's not ready. I know that. So I wouldn't put her in that position. But Asuka is, and so is Charlotte. Why isn't that a WrestleMania match?
Well, there's still time.
Well, didn't she pretty much choose Alexa though?
We have years.
But that's my point. But that's what I don't. That's what I dislike though, because realistically, if we're waiting out years for that, you don't know if somebody's going to be at the company or not. You don't know if somebody's going to get injured or not. You don't know this. So
that's true.
Give it to us now, and you can build for the future years. That's my problem with what WrestleMania has become lately. Again, though, I am super happy that WWE is providing us with such an elite card, such an array of different wrestling styles on this card. I think it's really cool, though. If you're getting a cruiserweight match, that the WWE cruiserweights are on fire. I think they're great wrestlers. They're great in-ring performers. Shinsuke and AJ, those two speak for themselves. And I might not want it, but I'm sure people do. Roman and Brock is going to be something else. And I might not want to see The Undertaker wrestle this year at WrestleMania, but if he does, great, because that's two legends, John Cena and The Undertaker. I'm okay with that.
Right.
And rumor has it that Bill Goldberg's going to enter the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
I'm sorry, who?
Bill Goldberg. That's the rumor. That's the rumor, that they want somebody big to win that. And I can see it.
Hold on a second. Craig, prime time, I love you. I love you both. Please hug each other on the internet.
What's going on?
Let's move forward. Nothing. They're going to hug each other, and everything's going to be great. WrestleMania, again, talking about WrestleMania and the culmination of things. It reminds me, because back in the day, around maybe October or November, I would be thinking to myself, all right, who do I want in the main event of WrestleMania? And it was always, whose time can it be? And for me, it was always a new person. I always wanted a new person to rise up. And I remember the year that Eddie Guerrero, it was Rey Mysterio, and I think Rey Mysterio should win. And then
was that the year that Eddie Guerrero passed away?
It was, and it was my plan for Rey Mysterio to headline WrestleMania before Eddie passed away. And then they did it, and they made it really cheap, and I really hated the way it happened. But it's always, for me, it always should have been, let's make this new star. Instead, it's just fucking Roman.
It's been Roman Reigns for the last 4 years,
and Brock for half of that.
Do you think? I mean, I don't understand how Vince McMahon can be like, yeah, we listen to the fans, but we're gonna shove this dude down your throat. I mean, Roman Reigns is a better version of Kevin Nash. I said this on Sunday, and I'll say it again today. He's a better version of Kevin Nash in the ring, but he has that demeanor. The fans want this dude to turn heel. Let's be real. Roman Reigns isn't selling merch. So what does it matter if you turn him heel or not right now? It doesn't. Honestly, I love the build. The build that they gave Seth Rollins almost had me thinking, wow, they made him look really good last week. What are they going to do with that guy? So it's interesting, though, because let's say The Miz isn't at WrestleMania. Finn Balor and Kevin, are you going to tell me that Finn Balor and Seth Rollins aren't going to try to steal the match that from AJ and Shinsuke Nakamura? To me, if you get those matches, they're going to try to outdo each other, and you're going to get the best out of those four guys. I personally think. And listen, I know that Roman Reigns is good in the ring, and Brock Lesnar is Brock Lesnar. You're not going to get that from those guys.
Right.
That's not a match that can go on last, because that's not going to satisfy anybody. But I don't know. I agree with you, though. WrestleMania should be used as a platform to build new talent. I felt like that's why Chris Jericho and Triple H should have went on last in WrestleMania 18, and they did.
Well, I mean, they should have, in theory.
But it wasn't the main event, let's be real.
I mean, nobody cared. I didn't care. I was emotionally exhausted after Rock and Hogan.
Of course. But WrestleMania should be used like that, and I agree with you that it's not. But my problem, like I was saying before, is that, and you said, we have time for the Asuka-Charlotte match. But I would have thought that at WrestleMania 8 when we had Sid Justice against Hulk Hogan, when that should have been Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair.
Yeah, no, that is definitely to your point. But they did, wasn't it? Why did they cancel it?
It's because the house shows for Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair didn't draw as well as they thought it was going to do, so they switched it up.
Which is crazy.
Granted, Randy Savage had a great match with Ric Flair, but realistically, not having Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair at WrestleMania is like leaving money on the table to me.
And I don't know why they were even. If they were planning on doing it at WrestleMania, I don't know why they were doing the house show circuit anyway.
Because I guess they were, from what I understood from Bruce Pritchard's podcast, Something to Wrestle About, is that they were doing it because they were losing money, so they wanted quick shots to make money. I get that side of it, completely get it. And it makes sense to get a feel for the guy in the ring, and it seems like that's what they were going to do to have a good match at WrestleMania. But that should have been the match. Maybe there were some behind-the-scenes issues, too, that one didn't want to lose to. It could have been anything. We don't know. But that is a WrestleMania caliber match that should have happened that never did. Another one is Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan. But
we know who we can blame for that.
Yeah, exactly. So there's tons of matches that were left on the table that just never happened. Sting and The Undertaker, right?
Craig is right. Another example is when Shawn and Undertaker didn't go on last. Triple H and Randy Orton did, and they should have learned their lesson. And I am one of the guys that is like, the title should be last, but there are times where you just have to figure it out. Yeah, and that's not going to work out.
I mean, sometimes you have matches that are just too big to not go on last. However, I will say, what do you think last year? Was Roman Reigns and Undertaker, was that the match you would have had go on last?
It was last, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Because realistically, I think it was the only match that could have went on last. Because you got Brock and Goldberg.
Well, because
and you had Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt.
Was it last?
Yeah, it was last. Because remember The Undertaker left his stuff in the ring and then left?
I do remember that.
Yeah, that was the last match.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% positive. I'm going to look it up. He doesn't believe me, guys, but I'm telling you, it was last. That was the last match of the night. Roman Reigns and The Undertaker went on last. Was it? But do you guys at home, or wherever you're watching us, do you think that match should have went on last? Leave a message in the comments. Let us know. Me personally, yeah, I guess it should have went on last, especially if Undertaker.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I know. Especially if Undertaker was going to go out like that. So, should it have been last, though?
I mean, with Taker leaving like that.
I had no interest in Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt.
Oh, man. Oh, it's terrible. I just remember watching it and going, guys, I have friends here, and they want to go home. And we still have 3 matches to go after this. Oh, man, it's terrible.
So I do want to talk about SmackDown this week. You didn't see it, but you read about it.
I didn't see it, but I drove past it on the way here.
I saw it. I actually enjoyed it actually this week. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a good build. I didn't like Cena was the one that started off the show. Said he wanted his shot and this is a land of opportunity. Blah 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 blah. So now he was against AJ in the main event to make that main event for Fastlane a 6-man now. If you just put the Elimination Chamber structure there, you may as well just make it another Elimination Chamber match at this point.
And that is first pinfall wins?
I believe so.
Okay.
I don't know if it's an elimination match. That's a good question. I don't know, actually. Don't quote me on that because I don't know. But, you're right. It is first pinfall wins because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn came out and did that promo about, I could be doing this outside and somebody could be winning. Yeah, so it is first.
I missed what. So tell me about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn tonight because I didn't see SmackDown.
Sami Zayn took on Baron Corbin. And Kevin Owens was at ringside on commentary. Fun match.
Oh, okay. If he was on commentary, then I have to.
Fun match. I dug it. Listen, I don't think Sami Zayn's a great wrestler, a great worker. I'm actually shocked that he's never worn a title in the WWE, besides NXT Championship. But in proper WWE, he's never won a title. He very much reminds me of somebody like a Jake the Snake Roberts. Obviously, the styles are differently, but both guys never won titles and should have. I do think that it was a solid match with Baron Corbin. Then backstage there was a segment with Shane McMahon saying, the insinuation there was to tell Daniel Bryan that, these two, Bree's preparing dinner and Bree doesn't like you being late because you guys are all in cahoots, kind of a deal. So that was...
Speaking of Mr. Daniel Bryan, they used to be really, really head-to-head, him and Shane.
I think they're still building this thing. I don't know.
But if it's not going to happen at WrestleMania...
I think it is, though.
You think it is?
I just because they're still doing this angle. I feel like they're not doing it as hard, but they're still doing the angle. The only thing is, I'm not necessarily sure that angle has a good payoff because the payoff that people want to see, and maybe this is why they're not putting so much emphasis on it, is because people automatically speculated that if they're doing an angle with Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, that means Daniel Bryan's coming back to the ring. And I think WWE may have been like, well, we don't want people thinking that, so let's put a little less emphasis on it. And then maybe we get the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens split where one takes the other. Who knows?
Interesting. That's interesting. Have one of them in their corner.
Right. Yeah. So who knows though? Who knows? Maybe it's a swerve where they're all going to swerve Daniel Bryan. They all team up with Shane. Who knows? But I love those two together. I love watching the two together.
Me too.
I actually don't want them to break up at this WrestleMania. Let them be together for a while and then break up at the next WrestleMania. And really build it up. But who knows if that'll happen. And I would love to see Sami win a title. He deserves it. He's very good in the ring. He's great on the mic. And I didn't think Sami could ever be like a heel.
Oh, he's wonderful.
But he's great.
Wonderful.
I love him as a heel. Because he's just that annoying guy that's like, dude, shut up.
Craig, we're done with Cammy. Stop saying Cammy.
Somebody said Cammy in the chat?
He's getting sick of the Shane Daniel and Cammy angle. That was the AJ Styles.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
So we also got John Cena saying that, we already talked about that. He's going to be in the match. We also got a great interaction with the Usos and the New Day, both claiming to be and the Usos cut a great promo tonight, saying that they haven't been on WrestleMania for they named the last 5 WrestleManias.
Oh, yeah, they've been really screwed.
Yeah. This year, I think they're going to be on the show. They have been the best tag team consistently in the WWE. But who it's going to be against, I don't know. We did see their interaction with the New Day, but then the Bludgeon Brothers came out, so it seemed like a 3-way thing could be happening. The one thing I don't like about certain WrestleManias, it's fine to have multi-person matches. I'm fine with that. But do you remember WrestleMania 16, or they call it WrestleMania 2000?
Certainly.
No singles matches besides the women's match, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. But,
so,
and I remember that show being pretty terrible.
Yeah. I feel that it takes away something a little bit. It's just getting people on the card. I get that. But you're already going to make your card about 7 hours long, so there's enough room for everybody. And it's true. They're probably going to make it that long. You know that they are. 6 at the very least.
Yeah. You know what was the most disappointing to me at WrestleMania 2000 was Triple H. Kurt Angle versus Chris Jericho.
Oh, right.
Versus Eddie, right?
No, Benoit.
Yeah, I was so hyped for that match, and it just fizzled for me.
Yeah, I think obviously the match that stole the show was the TLC match.
Yes.
I mean, by far that match was great. And that was sad too, because not that match, but the main event was where Mick Foley retired like the month prior at No Way Out because he lost to Triple H. But then he came back, and he came back, and you could tell he couldn't even get across to do his like dive off the apron to the floor with his elbow drop.
Yeah.
It was.
Where did they talk about that? Maybe it was on his DVD or something like that.
Did they?
He talked about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that match disappointed. That was in Anaheim actually, but that was that. I am okay with the Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Miz match though, because I think all three of those guys can steal the show. I think Miz is super underrated. He reminds me of just a great old school heel, like a heel. Like you don't know if he's going to leave with the title every night. I think the Miz is at the top of his game right now. But on SmackDown side of things, the women had a match tonight. It was Trinity or Naomi against Ruby Riott, and I think they're building Ruby Riott for the SmackDown Women's title. I don't like it. I don't like it not one bit. Ruby Riott's not ready.
Who else is set up for it right now? Charlotte's the champ, right?
Yeah. See, it's forgettable. So forgettable. You don't even know who the champ is.
It is. You're right.
I don't like it. I don't like what they're doing with the women on SmackDown. It's not smart to me.
I know this. This is back to Elimination Chamber. Alexis. Oh my gosh.
Alexa
Bliss. I'm sorry. I don't care. Alexa Bliss. Her post-match promo.
It's great.
I laughed so hard when she did the whole babyface turn / screw you, you all suck. I feel so good. So wonderful.
So Matt and Kat say the Miz is overrated. Kat agrees. However, she's a Roman Reigns fan. Let's be real. Roman Reigns can't even cut a promo. And even when he tries to do a shoot promo, it's still terrible.
Oh, I know. Hey, I'm not a Roman Reigns guy, but I think he brought it on Monday.
Listen, I think you set the bar very low, though.
No. I think he did a very good job. The problem is you can't do that promo next week. You can't keep doing the same.
You got it. That's why I thought that when John Cena and him were doing their promos together, John Cena schooled him.
Oh yeah, he did.
And it was kind of
it's called a promo, kid.
It's called a promo, kid. You can learn how to do one. I love it. John Cena knew what he was doing. That was great. But anyway, and that's another one. Honestly, that match that Cena and Roman Reigns had, that should have been saved for WrestleMania, and those promos should have been happening now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because you want a WrestleMania moment, you were building, to me, that seemed like a real feud. And dude, that would have been a great WrestleMania match.
Yep.
I'd have been okay with that.
But, and it would have been fun to see who the crowd boos more at WrestleMania. I don't even remember where they did it. It was like a random Raw, right?
No, it was a pay-per-view.
Was it a pay-per-view?
But I don't remember which one it was either.
I don't remember what...
it was one of the smaller ones, though.
T-Wolf is letting us know Ruby is facing Charlotte at Fastlane.
No, let's just hope that they don't face at WrestleMania. Maybe they pull a last-minute swerve and they give us Charlotte and Asuka, which I'm hoping for, and then that leaves Alexa. Realistically, if they make Alexa, Sasha, and Bayley a triple threat, I'm okay with that too. I mean, those three girls.
I mean, theoretically, sure, but I think
the storyline dictates.
I think Sasha and Bayley deserve a singles match.
I agree.
And you're talking about. Craig says it was at No Mercy that
maybe it's Nia Jax that gets her shot.
But I think Alexa has earned her place for to walk into WrestleMania as the champion, and I think that her and Asuka will be great. I think her and Asuka makes sense. And it makes me happy.
I don't.
Alexa's
great, but let's be 100% honest. Charlotte is besides Asuka one of your best in-ring wrestlers, and I think that there's a bigger match with Asuka and Charlotte.
She is one of the but there's a reason they're on different brands like that is so that they can. I mean, you take one of them from there, and then who's your best on SmackDown?
But that's easy. All you got to do is put Asuka on SmackDown. You still have Alexa. You still have Sasha. You still have Bayley.
All right, fair enough.
I think that with the SmackDown side, it's really just Charlotte. I mean, yeah, you got Naomi, yeah, you got Becky, but let's be real.
All right, and you know what? I wasn't going to call you out on it before, but since you want Charlotte and Asuka now because who knows what happens in a year, you said that Sami and Kevin Owens should wait another year.
I did, but that's for storyline purposes. But listen, those guys can have matches anywhere in the world. For storyline purposes, yes, I would have those guys wait a year. Because you want to build up this... Because we all know them as feuding, budding rivals from NXT to WWE, but now they're finally back together. I feel like it would be too short to break them apart right now.
No, I agree.
But yes...
But who knows what's going to happen in a year?
You're right. You're completely right. If somebody gets injured. But both of those...
Maybe in a year, Sami will be built up to the point where they can go for the title.
I only hope.
That would be good. That'll be our Shinsuke and AJ for next year.
And you know that they would tear down the house. With those two, like I think that would be amazing.
And just to picture those guys, working PWG and all the shitty independent.
But that's
shows.
such a great story to tell.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's wonderful. It goes from those small shits all the way to the pinnacle. I want to see that.
And then you'll probably get that hug moment that you got with Eddie and Benoit, even though they didn't wrestle each other.
But Kevin would end up kneeing him in the ball.
Yeah. That's what I love. He totally would.
More like the Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho.
I really hope that we someday get that match. I really do.
For the title.
For the title.
Yeah.
For whatever Universal or WWE Championship.
WrestleMania, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
We're pushing for it right now. WrestleMania 35.
And if that happens on the way, certainly they'll be tag champs, I think. I think if they don't break up by WrestleMania, I think we see some tag champs.
Then we also got to figure out, too, coming to next year's WrestleMania, we're probably going to have an influx of new talent. Probably Jose, what's his name? Almost. Adrian and Andrade, whatever the fuck, Cien. Yeah, we'll probably get him in WWE. Who else is looking really promising?
But who will, I'm wondering.
War Machine.
I hope they translate well. Like, who has not.
Tyler Breeze.
Exactly. I don't want it to get breezed. I love Tyler Breeze.
That was an easy answer for me.
Yeah, that was pretty quick.
But it's true though, right?
Yeah.
On NXT, he was such a superstar. Then you get him in. That's another one. Ty Dillinger. Jeez.
Thank you, Junior.
So it's just rough. I feel bad for some of these NXT guys.
Craig says, I think you've said it before, but Craig wants to see Sami turn on Kevin Owens and have Sami be the heel, but then Kevin would be the good guy. I just love him so much as the jerk.
Another one too, Kev, is somebody that we're not getting at this year's WrestleMania. I maybe you can make a last minute is Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
So because I feel like the plan for him and the plans of not having him and Dean Ambrose derailed a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's always two superstars that are not at WrestleMania for a year.
Joe was going to get Cena, right?
Yeah, I think Joe was going to get Cena, and I think Dean and Seth were going to.
Yeah.
But now, obviously, those plans have changed. And I think that would have been huge for Joe and Cena.
Absolutely.
Actually, huge for Cena as well. But we're not getting that, so that's that. What else we got, Kevin?
What else do we have on Raw? Well, what's that? What about Bobby Roode?
Oh, yeah, he's going to wrestle against Randy Orton. Master of the headlocks.
At Fastlane?
Yeah.
Man, I don't.
God, that's another one.
That.
What's going to happen with Randy Orton wrestling? Because he has a spot.
You're right.
I hadn't even thought about Randy Orton.
There's a lot. Yeah, I guess this is why this is going to be a 14-hour show.
We're going to start WrestleMania coverage tomorrow, actually. Yeah. But yeah, I will say this: I love Bobby Roode's gimmick. I don't know if I'm super excited about Randy Orton and Bobby Roode, but I think it'll be a decent match.
When is Bobby Roode going to turn evil?
We can't wait.
Because look at that picture right there.
And team up
He's
with
a good guy.
Team up with the Revival. And they can do a new 4 Horsemen gimmick. He already has the Ric Flair robe.
Yeah, dude.
Just add in like Ty Dillinger or somebody.
I'm sold. I'm in.
Give them a whole new gimmick. I don't know. I want to see Bobby Roode flourish in WWE. I really want to see him in a good spot. I want to see him. I have a feeling, though, WrestleMania, they'll go triple threat match with him, Randy Orton, and Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, I could see that.
Even though that should be a pre-show match.
And maybe I see it as a pre-show.
I hope it is a pre-show match. The only unfortunate part about that is I don't want Bobby Roode on the pre-show. I think his entrance at WrestleMania could be so grand.
Yeah.
But maybe they save that for when he's in the main event.
How about entrances? Shinsuke's entrance at WrestleMania.
You got to have a live violin guy.
Sure, again.
I don't know what you do with AJ. Maybe you get the guy that raps the song there.
That's cool. I'd be down with that. Who else? What else? Who's going to have a great entrance? I wonder what Trips is going to do this year.
Oh,
Trips and Steph.
And then Rousey and Angle.
I mean, I think they'll have a standard entrance.
No, I think they're going to have something spectacular.
You think so?
Yeah. I definitely think they have something spectacular.
Who was in the MMC tonight? The mixed match
it was
channel.
Sasha Banks and Finn Balor against... Oh, man, who were they against? Shinsuke. Yeah, it was Shinsuke Nakamura and...
Natalia?
Nope. It wasn't them. God, I can't remember.
Asuka and Miz?
Asuka and Miz, yes.
Who won?
I didn't see it.
You guys help us out? Who won the MMC?
Matt Hardy's entrance, man, with Rebby on the piano.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah. Rebby's got to stop tweeting.
Yeah.
She talked shit about the crowd in Vegas, which the crowd was shit. But you, please, just use your fucking head, dude. I think it'd be fun to have you on the main roster.
She doesn't have a WWE contract right now.
Yeah, and she's not going to get one if she keeps talking shit.
What do you think about bringing in Bobby Roode?
You mean James Storm?
James Storm, I'm sorry. That's what T-Wolf Typhoon Ranger was.
I know. I don't see room for him.
Nah, it's going to be tough.
I don't see room
unless
for
they
him.
do the beer money gimmick and put them in a tag team. But I think right now.
I mean, they're not going to do the fucking beer money.
Well, I'm just saying if they did. But let's be real. Bobby Roode's too much of a star right now on his own. They're not going to do that. There's no way.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of Austin and Pillman when both of them were in. Yeah, and then when they came to WWE, there was always like Asuka and Miz won. Thank you, Craig. They did that interview where Pillman interviewed Austin.
He broke his leg or whatever?
Yeah, I just watched that again for some reason. I don't know. When that happened back in fucking 96, I had a cold. It wasn't even a cold. It was one of those throw-up sicknesses. And
what the hell are you telling us this for?
I almost cried that morning.
Why?
Because that's why I told you. Because I was physically and emotionally drained already. And then I watched Pillman getting his leg destroyed by Austin. And I was young.
Can we talk 1 second before we close this show about the predictability of the WWE?
I mean, we were talking about, yeah. Okay, so Roman, we all knew it. We knew he was going to be...
Why that decision, though?
Because Vince loves him for some reason.
I love him.
And what's funny is, I guess Stephanie McMahon was just on Lillian Garcia's podcast. And the quote on Reddit that they put in the title was, Stephanie said, the one thing about Vince McMahon that really sets him apart is that he listens to his audience.
No, he does not.
He does not.
He does not. He needs to turn that Whistler 3000 up just a couple more cranks and he can really hear that audience. You can hear all the boos. He's like an 80-year-old man. He needs to fix that. Somebody that does listen to the audience, though, is Triple H. At least I think. Triple H is, if you would have told me 20 years ago that, hey, you know what, it's this guy that's he's part of the clique and he does this, and this. And it's like, man, fuck that guy. But realistically, it's like, man, thank God that guy did all
yeah.
this. Like
I've always been a Triple H guy.
I like Triple H. I think he's definitely I think he's honestly the fans. And it's so crazy we're talking about this because I always hear him get crapped on by the wrestlers. Him holding down guys like Scott Steiner and Booker T. Or
but
maybe.
I mean, Scott Steiner.
Yeah, Scott Steiner.
How far was he going to go? Booker T.
He should have won at WrestleMania 19. That's not even.
That was fucked
kid
up
about that. But I think that with where we are and where we've gone, I think that Triple H is really bringing in guys like, dude, he was the one that brought in Mystico. He was the one that brought in Finn Balor. He's the one that brought in Shinsuke Nakamura. He's bringing in, he brought in Austin Aries. You know what I mean? Like he brought in all these indie darlings. Like I keep saying this on this show. If Triple H and CM Punk weren't both competitors at the time they were, and this was, you know, that situation now, he'd have been the first guy to bring CM Punk in.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's quite interesting how a few years can change everything.
Why can't they be friends?
I wish. I'd love to see Punk
say
back.
CM Punk's name. He's...
And that's a great thing, too. Imagine so many different matches you could have with CM Punk and some of the guys on the roster now. I'd love to see CM Punk and Dean Ambrose now, or CM Punk and, Shinsuke Nakamura, CM Punk and AJ Styles now.
One of the Young Bucks tweeted about how much they would love to face the Usos.
I would love to see it. Young Bucks and the Usos might be two of the best tag teams going today, along with the Revival. I think that would be a great matchup.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to do it for us. Kevin, you got a match of the week? I always put you on the spot with these.
Yeah. I should be properly prepared by now.
Pick a WrestleMania one.
WrestleMania match. Did I already do Triple H versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 17?
No, you have not.
I think I talked a couple weeks ago about how WrestleMania 17 is my favorite pay-per-view from WWE, and that's one of the big reasons.
Was that the Austin Rock main event? where Austin goes heel? Is that the one?
It is. I challenged Junior on which one that was, and I was wrong. Would you believe? But Triple H, and it was in Houston, and the crowd was fucking hot. Almost every match was awesome, and Triple H versus The Undertaker. Before...
That was the American Badass Undertaker, too.
Was it?
Yeah.
And the sledgehammer finish, phenomenal. WrestleMania 17.
We're going WrestleMania matches. I got to go. I don't know if I've used it. See, now you got me wondering. I don't know if I've used this one, but it's one of my favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. WrestleMania 8, Bret Hart against Roddy Piper. I have used that match. I'm going to use another match then. All right, so...
I remember the promo before that.
Oh, it was great!
And Piper's talking about how his Bret's mom used to make sandwiches, and he only had one piece of meat on his sandwich, but that's fine!
All right, so I'm going to go with another match. Man, what am I going to go with? Well, you know what? I'm a big fan of WrestleMania 18, actually. One of the most iconic matches on that match was obviously Rock and Hogan, but I always liked the Stone Cold Scott Hall match.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Kevin Nash doesn't do shit on the outside, really, though. But I do like the work. I always thought Scott Hall was one of the best, most underrated workers in the business, and I think that the match that they had and the build-up was just so much fun. He got locked in a meat locker, for God's sakes.
I remember being completely unimpressed with that match.
It's because I can understand how you could be, but watch it back. Scott Hall's the only guy that took the stunner the right way.
Yeah, he did great.
Just watch it back for that moment alone. But I think that's gonna be my match of the week.
All right, fair enough.
So next week we're gonna be talking about more wrestling.
We're on the road to WrestleMania.
We are marching along towards WrestleMania. Hopefully we get some more swerves. We can start formulating our WrestleMania plan. So what we have right now. One last question, Kevin. If you had to choose a WrestleMania match that you think could still possibly happen that hasn't been announced yet, what do you think that is?
Just a match in general?
Just a match in general.
Who are we missing?
Randy Orton.
Who are we missing?
The king of the headlocks, man.
Good night, Matt. Man, what... With current roster, with its real and yada, yada, yada... it's not just like my dream match of bringing people in, but like a legit potential match that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are calling this in the ring. You are putting me on the spot. You do it first.
All right. Well, if I had to choose two wrestlers that we don't necessarily know who have an exact plan yet, I would like to see putting it out there. Man, this is going to be tough because now I got to figure this out.
Yeah, not so easy, is it?
Yeah, one-on-one, I'd really like to see Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler.
I feel that we've seen it 9 times.
But like a real, given time match.
Fair enough. Well, since they're not officially on there.
Oh, man, maybe I should have went with the Usos.
Just for fun, I'm going to put Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against the Usos for the tag titles.
Okay.
That's a match that could happen.
You know what? I'm going to take mine back. I'm going to say Bobby Roode and Sami Zayn. And I want Sami Zayn to go over, win the United States title.
I like it. Book it, Dano.
There we go. That's going to be it, guys. Thank you for joining us on Call It in the Ring. Next week, we're going to be talking about more wrestling as we go on to our march towards WrestleMania. We're going to be talking about Raw, SmackDown, possibly some New Japan stuff, possibly some Ring of Honor stuff. If there's something that happens in the news, we'll talk about that as well. But until next time, Kevin, where can everyone find you?
At Kevin Kittredge on Twitter and Instagram.
And you can find me at that hashtag Joe on all social media. And right here, you can find both of us on that hashtag show. Guys, thank you so much for calling it in the ring with us. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending in geek pop culture.